I'll tell you who we're going to ask. We're going to talk to the former Attorney General of the United States under George W. Bush, Michael Mukasey. Judge, good morning to you.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
All right, let's talk about, Gibbs there on that chat show on Sunday was talking about, well, ask him about Zacarias Moussaoui.
Okay.
There's a profound difference between that particular trial and now.
There are several differences. Let's start with the fact that Moussaoui was arrested before 9/11. I had him in my courtroom.
Right.
Secondly, Moussaoui didn't go to trial. He pleaded guilty. And
right. Derailed everything.
His sentencing took a year, and he turned it into a circus.
Right.
So I wouldn't put Zacarias Moussaoui out as an advertisement for trying terrorists.
Well, what about Richard Reed, they argue?
Richard Reed was arrested 3 months after 9/11. We didn't have military commissions in place at the time that he was brought in, so he couldn't be tried before a military commission.
So there are big differences between then and now.
Yes, then was then, now is now. Plus, there are huge differences between the way you're supposed to deal with the guy who tries to stick up a 7-Eleven and a terrorist. We have laws of war that encourage people to fight lawfully with uniforms, following a chain of command, not targeting civilians, and so on. If they do that, they get POW treatment. If they don't, then they can be dealt with as unlawful combatants and tried before military commissions, and they should be.
Judge, on Friday, it sounded like there were sources inside the White House saying it's not going to be in New York. It's going to be someplace else, so we've instructed the Department of Justice to look for some other location. But now, apparently, New York is not off the table, according to the deputy, or rather acting Attorney General, who was talking yesterday at a budget meeting. You feel very strongly that the only place to do this is at Gitmo. Why?
Several reasons. First of all, because Gitmo has been custom built to deal with cases precisely like this. There's a courtroom that can deal with classified information, store it safely and electronically. Right. There's a detention facility that can hold these people in a remote, secure, and humane location. It was built specifically for these kinds of trials. Secondly, New York poses a tremendous, the biggest security threat.
Sure.
And as well, it is a mockery of the rule of law to take people who are charged with violating all the rules of war and put them in a situation that's better than the one that they would have been in if they had followed the rules of war.
Judge, the fact that the administration is vacillating in the message, it's on in New York, it's off, it's on, it's off, does that make us look weak?
It makes it look like amateur night down there. Yes, it makes us look weak. It is weakness. And I can't understand the reason for the vacillation. I can't understand the choice to bring it to New York in the first place.
Sure. All right. Well,
other than showboating.
There you go. All right. We're going to find out what happens. Judge, thank you very much for joining us live.
Thanks for having me.
Michael Mukasey, former Attorney General.